Welcome everyone. Amazing.
Oh, hi. It's lovely to see all those faces. Hi, everybody.
Amazing.
Thank you
Have
for
you
taking
survived,
time out
Robin?
of your day.
I've survived just about. It's been pretty hectic, but
Good.
it actually went quite smoothly. A couple of little glitches to start off with, but we've managed.
Well done.
Day 1 is
Great
done.
stuff.
Day 2 tomorrow.
Fantastic.
Do you know what I'm really happy about seeing? That it looks like lots of people have got home. Although I can see somebody having the hair done. Have you just turned your camera off now so I can't see you having your hair done? I love seeing you having your hair done. It says grainy, I think. Oh, I've made you laugh now. It's really, really, it's really
Amazing.
lovely seeing so many people. Just a couple of bits of housekeeping before we start. Those of you that came to the first session, you may remember that we had a little bit of background noise from somebody. Somebody was swearing, so we couldn't share the video. So what we've decided to do this time is mute everybody as you come in. But we're more than happy that you ask us any questions either on the microphone or in the chat box, and we're going to try and keep an eye on the chat box as well. So huge thanks for everybody for coming along today. We thought this would be a good time, but I think as the weeks have gone on, we've all thought, oh my God, COVID, clinics are happening, and it's probably the worst day of the whole year. But I'm really pleased to say that everybody's turned up, particularly for me, Robin, who is on the kind of establishment team, and Robin's had the first day of her COVID vax today. So she's still looking okay. She tells me she's not had gin yet.
I'll call her back in a minute. I'm just literally on a Zoom meeting.
I can hear somebody's got their camera, their volume on again. I don't know who that is, but I don't want to be listening to private conversations. So if you can turn your mic off, if you've turned it back on, that would be great. Okay, so as we did last time, we're going to use Mentimeter just so that we keep completely engaged with you throughout the session. So if you can go to Menti, so it's www.menti.com using the code 2727537. And just answer the question. Oh, somebody's a rapper. I nearly changed this question about an hour ago to ask how much chocolate have you eaten today, but I didn't know how I'd quantify the amount. So, you know, 1 chocolate or 10 bars of chocolate, depending on how your day is. The code, if you haven't got it, it's at the top of the screen, and it's 2727537. Thanks, Robin. I can see your man in the chat as well. So lots of no's. And lots of people who haven't thought about Christmas. I'm kind of, I've thought about it for work, but as far as anything happens in my personal life, Christmas hasn't started yet and might happen this weekend if I can get an Amazon Prime delivery. Okay, thank you for doing that. So what have we been up to and what have we been doing? So we're still the same 4 ladies. We're probably not quite as glamorous looking as we are on those pictures because it has been a month of kind of double hours working most weekends trying to get things done. So if I've not met you before, my name is Kay Keane and I'm the practice manager at Alvanley. Jo, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, yeah, I'm Jo Wadey. I'm practice manager in Worthing, West Sussex, and chair of the West Sussex Practice Managers.
Thanks, Jo. And Robin?
I'm Robin Clark. I'm a practice manager at Kingswood Health Centre in South Gloucestershire.
And Nicola?
Hi there, everybody. I'm Nicola Davis, practice manager down on the Roseland Peninsula in Cornwall. Fabulous.
Thanks, ladies. So we've only known each other 6 weeks, and they've probably been the most intense 6 weeks of any of our careers. We've taught most days, we've worked together, you know, out of work hours. We've been doing an awful lot, and I hope that you'll realise from that we're absolutely passionate about getting this ready. It kind of feels like our joint dream to get something like the IGPM set up. Which then brings me on to the fact that I think this is probably the first time we've officially said that name out loud. Last time we met, we asked you for your ideas of what we would be called, and I think some of you horribly said Practice Managers United, and I said absolutely not. Well, my vote won, and we're not united anything. That's just because of my football allegiance. So we have gone for the Institute of General Practice Managers, and that was because it didn't sound like anybody else. It was unique, and also we're committed to have some kind of recognition, some kind of registration, and we can do that if we're an institute. So that's the kind of idea behind the name. We've also got another couple of people working with us now, and we're delighted to have Louise and Professor James Kingsland with us, and I hope James is on the call as well. So Louise, I think, Louise, are you the Director of Learning and Development at Wessex?
Yeah, Director of Education Training at Wessex LNCs, yeah.
Fabulous, thank you. So
and
Louise,
I was a practice manager before, that's kind of why I'm here mainly. So if anybody ever asks me, practice management is really my thing, and if you cut me in half, it would still say practice manager like a stick of rock.
She's one of us.
She is, definitely. So Louise has been really helpful, helping us to think about accreditation and about education, but also Louise has kindly given us some resources to help us start to set up a website as well. And huge thanks to Wessex LMC for doing that completely free of charge at the moment, just like you know, all of us are working pro bono at the moment. James, are you here? James is.
I am indeed. Sorry.
Oh, he's here. Father Christmas. He's in his little grotto. So, James, do you want to? I call James the independent expert. I don't know whether you can add any more to that, James.
Well, certainly independent. Whether expert, we'll see. But yeah, my role, I've been in general practice for many years. But also an honorary professor in the School of Medicine at the University of Central Lancashire. And knowing, well, relatively recently, some of the ladies on this interim board, I'm delighted that I've been invited to help develop, I think, the Institute, as it looks to be an awarding institute, produces an accreditation process that I know Kay and team are going to be talking about later on. I'm happy to come back at that point if helpful.
Thank you so much, and we're really grateful for your time and for being here today. Okay, so hopefully you'll have all engaged with us with this thing that we kind of call PM Power, and it's really important, I think, that we recognise all of you for sharing this and for talking about it and really raising the profile of practice managers. We're amazed at how far this PM Power has spread, and huge thanks to all of you for that. But some of the things that have kind of come out of the last month, I really want to address, to be honest, because we've seen so many comments. All of us have had messages from individuals really saying that you're struggling. I don't know who's got their microphone switched on. I'll carry on. So okay, so we've just muted everybody apart from me. Sorry about that. Okay, so we've all had comments from people saying how, I think the only word I can describe it is as desperate. So we've had people saying, amazing. We've been waiting this for so long. We're right behind you. And then we've seen some messages and we've spoke to some people that have said, do you know what? This can't come soon enough because really every morning I can't get up and get out to work. So I just wanted to start the session really by saying to you, we can't do this without us all being united and all being strong as well. So please go onto the internet, look up Looking After You Too, and try and get yourself on one of the coaching sessions. I've done one myself and it was awkward at the beginning because, probably like you, I don't talk about me very often. I don't talk about what matters to me very often. And I certainly don't give myself 45 minutes during any day to think about me, but I feel better after doing mine. So I would really encourage you to do that. I've also spoken to the programme today, and they've confirmed that you get 4 sessions, but you can refer yourself back into it as many times as you want. So if you do 4 and you think I could do with another 4, absolutely fine. What you won't get is the same person. You won't get the same coach, but I think that's okay too. The other thing that we've been thinking about is whether we could set up any kind of buddying or mentoring to kind of fit into this. But obviously you'd be buddied with another practice manager rather than a professional coach. So many ideas in our head, but I just really wanted you to remember that we are important. General practice would fail without us. We are the super hearing plate spinners that keep it all going. So please look after yourselves. Okay, that's my preach. So amazing news. Over 600 signed up to email. This is at this morning's rates as well. We've received 38 volunteers. Again, that was last time I looked. Tons of followers on Facebook. You've all been really engaging with us, and lots of followers on Twitter as well. Really important to know that on Twitter we're getting traction from what I would call kind of eminent NHS, eminent Department of Health people. So if you are on any of those platforms, please do. Let's keep shouting about practice managers and let people know what we do, because they're the people we're going to go back to and ask to support us, kind of support us professionally, but also maybe support us financially as well. So we'd really like you to just tell us where you're following us. So if you're following us on Facebook or Twitter, or if you're following us on both. So if you can go back to Menti with 2727537, just really so we know where to put our efforts, really. We think that lots of practice managers have found us because of the Practice Manager Facebook group. And found us that way. We've also been posting in Resilient GP as well over the last couple of days. So it does look like what we think is true, that Facebook is the right place for us to be continuing. Interesting, someone's just said Twitter is just too mean. Is that too mean with the number of characters? I've never got enough space to say what I want to on Twitter. Fantastic, thank you for doing that. Okay, and I think we've got 38 people who volunteered to be part of something, and today we're going to talk about this something, which is kind of like our council or our management team or our board or something. And that really is to help support the 4 of us to have that level that will interact with CCGs, maybe with LMCs, but we're missing some great big swathes of the country. Lincolnshire and East Anglia, the Northeast. We've got a couple of people in Scotland. We haven't got anybody in Cumbria yet. And I really do hope at the end of this, we will have somebody. What we just want is people that will kind of step up and volunteer to be that link person. But I think Nicola and Joe are going to talk about that a little bit more, what that responsibility would be. If you want to nominate yourself to do something, you could either find us on Facebook, or you could find us, how else could you find us? You could find me, k.keen@nhs.net. Okay, so I think I'm handing over to Nicola or Joe now. Yeah, Nicola's nodding, so I'm going to mute myself. There you go.
Hi everybody. So really what we wanted to bring you up to speed on here was where we've got to with making contact with the organisations that we really need to link to, and basically make sure that they know that we are here and we are the organisation that they should come to. I am not about the tail wagging the dog. This is very much us going to be the group that they come to. So we've had a really good meeting with Ursula Montgomery, who's deputy to Nikki Kanani at NHS England, and she's going to go back to the team there and see what we can get from them really in terms of support and some funding. So that's quite positive. We've got a meeting scheduled with Martin Marshall at RCGP in the next couple of weeks, early January, which is actually only a couple of weeks away, horrifyingly. We've got support from the BMA, from Chans Nagpal and Krishna Karasaneni, forgive me. Obviously, we've got Kay with our NAPC contact. We've heard back from the Scottish Government. They're keen to get on board, which is fantastic. We've still got to get a response yet from the Welsh Assembly. So I know Jackie is one of our attendees here that I linked to on LinkedIn earlier on this afternoon, over in Wales. So please do whatever you can to get some support and get them over to us. That'd be fantastic. We just need to finalise our paper now and get that as our guiding document. Can we just make sure, has everybody seen that positional paper and had a look through it? Hopefully you've all seen it. If anybody's got any questions, just plonk it on the chat and we can go through that. And this is just about the précis is, look, this is what we're doing. We are going to be recognised as the professional body. And this is going to represent everybody in management working in general practice across the 4 nations. It's not just NHS England, this is all of us. We are all in this together. And we've got to have that meaningful relationship with all of those government departments. They need to come to us to take us through the decision process of, here is the problem, what is the solution? Instead of 6:30, Matt Hancock, 9:30, we get the email. So fingers crossed, we're making really great strides there. So in our aim, we will be the only body representing managers working in general practice. That is our aim. We don't want there to be too many other bodies out there where it's all a bit confusing. We want you to come to us. We want to be able to come to you. And again, as we're saying, we really need to influence this health and care policy. We need to be the voice. That's our really aim. And we're going to get this professional standards framework as well. We're going to get the accreditation process. My colleagues will speak more about that, so that you can join us, you can be recognised, and you can feel really, really clear that we are behind you 100%. We have the next slide, please. Thank you. So you know this, guys, you know that we all feel underrepresented and undervalued at times. There are a number of you out there, I know, who feel unsupported by your partners, and this has to change, and it can change by us working together and being that collaborative. And again, as they say, you know, the backbone of primary care, we are that cog in the middle. If it wasn't for us, it would fall over. We need to create this representative body, make sure that you feel you are no longer isolated. We've got the resources, we've got the support, training where it's needed for our successors, so that when we do want to hang up our boots, we can hand it over and know that things are taken care of. So, Jo, do you want to take over with the next slides?
Thank you. Oh, yeah. Hi there. Hi, guys. So I don't know if many of you have heard about the Practice Management Network. So that was a representative body for the practice managers, and Sandy Gower's on the call, Steve Donlan, Vanessa Young, and we've all been working really, really hard to be a representative body for many, many years. This is really sort of the Practice Management Network on steroids, because we really, really need to have a properly resourced representative body with representation across the UK, and it's been really very difficult for the Practice Management Network to do that. And so we're hoping that the Practice Management Network will morph into the exec body, just so there's been some questions about that on the chat, and I just wanted to clarify that. And it's exactly as Nicola said, we've just been so isolated, you know, the whole golden hello with the partnership and NHS England saying that we're not part of it because we were not a profession was exactly why we've done this. And so yeah, so you covered it all, Nicola. Yeah, thank you.
So if there is anything that you think we've missed, if you've not read it, let us know, and we can make sure that we signpost you to it on Facebook. That seems to be the best place for us to put things. So people are saying they've not seen it. Yeah, great starting point. And yet, do you know what? That really was the starting point. Where's the funding? Yeah, we're asking the same thing. We're really trying hard to get that, and we've got some ideas. I can't remember which one of the politicians talked about a magical money tree, but I think we're in that same position at the moment. But we're shaking those trees because we think there probably is some money to do this, and there might be some left in the GP Forward View money that was supposed to be spent on management development that perhaps hasn't all been spent because of COVID. So you know, we're honestly, we're really trying to get as much as we can from the system. Okay, I am going to move on to the next slide. So based on what we kind of have said, and what Nicola and Joe have said, what we need to be able to make this work is a body of practice managers that support us. It's no point it just being the kind of 4 or 6 of us. We need you, and it's absolutely fine if you're not sure yet, or if it's no, but we just need to understand, because honestly, we're really trying to work so hard to get it right, so we have to get it right now, so that we know we've got 300, 400, 500 practice managers that are supporting us. Oh, I love those little dots. They're looking like amoebas on my screen. I think we can say that's a yes. I'd be really interested with the no's and the still not sure's, just to tell us why, so that if there is something we're missing or something we're not doing for you, and then we can understand that. We might not be able to answer the question, we might not be able to fix it, but at least we'll know. Fabulous. Loads of little amoebas. Okay. So I think this might have been you, Joe, about talking about those people that we've collaborated with already.
So yeah, I think it's literally just to really just to say, reinforce what Nicola said. So these are the pictures of the people that we were talking about, so you might actually be able to recognise them then. I have to say that the NHS England have been very supportive, and they say we just now got to see if we can get some funding to back that support up. The BMA, Dr. Chan Nagpal and Dr. Krishna Kaziri, really supportive. We just wondered from you guys, really, who else do you think we should be talking to? And it would be really good to get your thoughts on that. Maybe put it on the chat if you've got anybody else that you think influential that we need to be talking to.
So since these slides have been produced, we have now had response from Scotland. Nothing yet from Wales, and I haven't actually got a contact in Northern Ireland. So if anybody is on the call from Northern Ireland who can help. TV doctors with Joe. Who was that TV doctor we had?
So Dr. Mark Porter. So he's on Twitter and he's really supporting us. Richard Vaultry is part of the BMA with Chan Nagpal and Krishna. So they're all talking. So we've got their support as well. And the LMCs, I think we're really going to need help with you guys to reach out to your LMCs, and we're trying to do that as well.
Yeah. And I think that's great. It's a really good point that you're talking about your own doctors as well, your own GP partners, because we don't want them to think. There were some comments from one, I think it was an LMC, that were a bit kind of nervous that why are our practice managers doing this? Are they rebelling? Are they becoming kind of unionized? We're not. We really are not. And it should be seen as no threat at all to any partnership. We're not doing this for a golden hello. We're doing this because we believe that practice managers should be a recognized profession, and we should be listened to and consulted when changes happen.
Oh, I love Piers Morgan. How amazing is that? Who wants to do that one?
We'll let you if you love him. I might end up arguing with him.
No, we'll delegate that to some of our fellow colleagues.
Completely agree about other practice managers. Not everybody is on social media. Not everybody, will have heard about this. So please talk to them at your local practice manager meetings. If we go to the Department of Health or NHS England and we say we've got 50% of practice managers who are signed up to do this, that will really be the power that we need. If we're saying, oh, well, you know, 700 came along to a webinar, 700 registered, that's amazing, but it's not a proportion. It's not a proportion that's kind of recognizable, amazing as it is. Fabulous. Some really, really good ideas on there. Ruth Rankin has been retweeting stuff as well. So I see somebody's put that. So she's David Colin Thome. I think that's a friend of James Kingsland. So maybe yeah, he's nodding. So maybe there's some of those contacts we can prize out of James as well. Okay, so Robin, we're over to you about kind of what's next.
Thanks, Kate. Yeah, so from the last meeting, we asked everybody who attended, you know, what kind of things do we want from this organisation? What do you want the IGPM to do for you? And these are the 5 main themes that came out from that discussion. So, you know, we're going to talk about our structure and we're going to talk about funding. So if we go on to structure first. So this is our plan, essentially, is we're going to have an executive board, and the aim for that is to have a regional rep who is elected. So there will be a recruitment process from around the UK. It needs to include Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, not just England. And that's why we're pushing for all of you in those areas who've not come forward to give us your name so we can talk to you. And obviously we want an educational / academic lead to sit with us, because accreditation is also something that we want to be able to do. Sitting under that executive board, because, you know, a region, I mean, Nicola always gives a really good example about a region. Cornwall is so disparate in where their practices are based that you can talk to your neighbouring practice and they're actually about an hour and a half away from you. So we want to break it down even further from that to have a programme board, which consists of our executive board. So I've jumped ahead of it. So the programme board has representatives on it as well from the BMA, the LMCs, RCGP, a lot of these ideas that we've just had. And I'm glad to see somebody already mentioned the NAPP, which I think are a really great organisation for us to link with. And then underneath that is our regional network. And that's where we get a regional representative, ideally matched to the local footprint. So we're looking at CCG areas. So they will then feed up into their regional rep. I have the next slide. And then accreditation is another big theme that came out. We've been told previously that we weren't eligible for the Golden Hello because we're not a recognised profession. So what can we do to get recognised? And one of the first things that came out from that chat was, please don't make us do more exams, because we've had enough. And lots of us have got higher level qualifications already, and we don't feel that we need to do more of those. So the aim of the accreditation is to look at a different method for us to be able to do that. And we're looking at essentially a system where we've got different levels of membership based on different things. So it could be existing qualifications that you've already got, but like we said there, it's by no means the most important element of it. The level of responsibility and accountability that you have in your role, relevant experience, a kind of skills assessment that we could do, and a competency assessment essentially that we can evidence by things like appraisals, peer reviews, or project papers for things that you've implemented. And what we want to give everyone who becomes a member is letters after their name. So we go on to the next slide. We've looked at the different levels of membership that we could offer our members. So you've got the associate level, which is basically just joining the membership. It could be for someone who is new to general practice. It's their first PM role. It could be that you're a deputy manager or a specific type of manager, like a finance manager or a business manager. The next level up after that would be a member of IGPM. And that's for more experience, or if you can demonstrate more experience or transferable skills. And this is where the competency assessment side of it sort of comes in. And then it goes up to fellowship and then companion. To the more senior managers, the people who've got larger scale projects under their belt or higher level qualifications, those kind of things. Next slide. So obviously membership comes with a potential cost. We have talked about funding, and we are trying to source funding from independent organisations as much as possible, but we understand that that sometimes the money has to come from somewhere else. So the question we just want to ask everyone is, would you be willing to pay for an annual membership that gives you access to all of these things? And it's quite interesting to see the numbers going up. Kay, shall I hand back to you now?
Yeah, that's great. I just wondered if James had anything to add, because I feel rude calling you James. I want to call you. I want to do my little curtsy and call you Professor Kingsland. You're happy that I keep calling you James, aren't you?
Absolutely. That's what my mother calls me. So,
anything else you wanted to add?
But probably mainly to add to Robin's points, and where my role may be helpful is developing the status. I think there's a well-chosen name in the institute. So it's now to develop the status of an institute to support the professional standing of managers. So I think those levels where, and I guess this slide is showing what sort of fee to become an associate, the entry level for all. So by paying a fee, you get all the benefits of the association within that institute, but then a process which would need to be worked through about getting the accreditation of membership. So as it showed on the previous slide, IGPM, which would be for the most, and it looks as though that could be done through a verification of curriculum vitae, experience, professional development to date, not necessarily qualifications, which would confer, though, a recognised level and a status with in the IGPM and awarded by the IGPM, subject to getting its accreditation, which say is part of my role to help with. Now that can be done via another academic institution, an association with another awarding body, Ofqual, or lots of ways of doing that. But I think that would solidify the status of the institute, and then the membership, which would be after becoming a paid associate. The final two would be over time becoming a fellow through the full membership for more experienced managers, and as Robin was saying, maybe some further assessments yet to be defined. And the companion level is just probably one of those levels for most institutes, which demonstrates a small number of individuals with outstanding achievements that would be awarded over time. But for the main, it would be an institute that awards membership through some form of assessment, and then the profession would have, for the majority, MIGPM as the status. And we can do that relatively quickly. And I say that was my particular ask of the network, and I'd worked closely with the Practice Managers Network prior to helping just some of the thinking around how we develop this institute.
Thanks, James. I think when we first had this conversation, that, and I don't know whether it's me just being over emotional and a bit sensitive, but when I thought that I could meet a colleague who had got letters after their name from an organisation like this, it just made me really quite emotional that we all work so hard, and this would just be something that kind of gives us that stamp that says, you know what, I am a practice manager and it's something I should be proud of, and these are the letters after my name. I can see lots of people are chatting and talking about claiming the money back, and what qualifications would be comparable to some of these levels. We've really not thought about the detail, but certainly we've had conversations with the HFMA who did the practice manager's diploma, and talked to them about whether that diploma could be to a certain level. Could you transfer your, I want to say CATS points, James. Is that the right term? Is it CATS points?
Yes, the diploma, again, I helped create that. It's awarded through a process with the HFMA, but it hasn't got CATS accreditation yet. We were looking at that through my university, but yes, there's a possibility of getting that diploma would be at a level of a PG cert, for example, if we could get the full academic approval for it, and then you would get 60 CATS points, which could be transferable to other academic programs, if that's the wish of the institute. I think in the first stage, getting it as an awarding body, and then for most managers who become associates, going through not a too complex process, but there will need to be some process to award the membership, and that then becomes the sort of gold standard for the professional standing of managers in general practice.
Fabulous, thank you. Okay, that looks like it's created lots of chat, so we'll catch up with all of that afterwards. Louise, do you want to talk a little bit about our website, which is just about going live today?
It is, absolutely. So yeah, Wessex LMC says just so pleased to be involved in this and delighted, and personally I'm just so thrilled this has got us off the ground. Can't believe it seems to have taken so long, but the 4 practice managers, Robin, Kay, Joe and Nicola, are so inspiring, and it's just a delight to be working with you. So the more we can do from an LMC point of view, and happy to link up with all the other LMCs that are on the chat, and it's nice to see so many people here to see what we can do as a joint force. So my colleague Joanna has developed a website, so igpm.org.uk, brand new. It's just, I think it's just about there, isn't it, James? James from Practice Index has also been helping this. So there's a contact form on there, there's Twitter details, there's Facebook details, and we will put more and more on there, as it's just another way to communicate with you. But there's no way that we're going to stop the hashtag PM Power initiative that's got going, because that is doing an amazing job. And that bright yellow, you spot it everywhere, Kay, it's brilliant. So we'll just keep working on that, and happy to be involved and push forward as much as we possibly can.
Thank you. And as I say, they've done that completely free of charge, and we're just so grateful for that support, because I think between the 4 of us we can spin plates, but we can't develop websites. Okay, so let's move on. I think this was you, Joe, to talk about our next steps.
Yeah, thank you. So, you know, 6 weeks we've known each other, and it's just unbelievable what we've all managed to achieve together. And certainly with the support of Louise and James, we couldn't, and both James from Practice Index and Professor James, we couldn't have done it without them all. So I just want to say a huge thank you. Feel like we should have been in Celebrity Get Me Out of Here. You're getting this camp all together for 6 weeks. It's amazing what you can achieve, and you feel like you're lifelong friends now. So it's amazing. So we've managed to do all of that. So we've got the Facebook up and running, the Twitter, the website. We want to do more webinars. We want to do more of this to engage with you and make sure we're getting it right at every level. And please just tell us. I'm sure you will. We want to get on with the recruitment of the boards, as we talked about, as Nicola talked about before. And then as soon as we've done that, we really want to get on to this accreditation as soon as possible. We've got the ears of the BMA of NHS England, so now we've really got to keep this momentum going, try and get some funding. If not, the 4 of us and supported by the other 3, we're just doing it all free of charge anyway, and we're determined and we're going to do it, but we're really hoping to get some funding so that we can speed the process up and become accredited as quickly as possible, really, so we don't have any more excuses about not being a profession anymore, because we're totally passionate that practice managers should be a profession, recognised as a profession, and somewhere to go to, because we are so important. And so yeah, so that's our next steps, really. And anything else that you may want to tell us that we might have missed, or that you'd like us to prioritise?
Thanks, Joe. We want to make sure that we keep talking to you, and we just want to make sure we're doing it the right way. Personally, I think because I'm a bit of a talker, I like this kind of session. I like the fact that I can listen to a webinar while I'm working. So this kind of works for me, but I know not everybody is the same. So should we be doing webinars? Should we be sending you an email? Are you sick of getting emails? Are you happy that you you know, you just find out about us on Facebook, or you see that bright yellow PM Power? What is it that we can do to best keep you up to date? This whole thing, I can't say it anymore. It's about you and how we interact with you. So great. So email, social media, and webinars. Yeah, it's interesting. We, you know, about the website. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so I can see that about 90 of you, 84 of you are responding. Oh, somebody's saying, please no more emails. I have to say, I'm feeling a bit like that myself, but it's, you know, some people would prefer that and probably sit reading their emails in the bath. Shona, you're writing on the screen. Okay, fabulous. So if we do have more of those kind of meetings, what time of day? Because I know we went for this time, and then we've had loads of people saying, oh, I wish you hadn't done it at this time of day. So is there a better time? It's amazing, isn't it? That we get to kind of 4 o'clock and remember we've not eaten. So
Actually, I was just going to say that is a really good point. Look at that lunchtime. It will make me stop and eat. How many of us eat at our desks? And yet we're the first to say to our members of staff, go and have a break. You must have a break. That's really important, you know. So it's really interesting how these comments are coming through.
Yeah. I think we've kind of decided there's no right time, but we'll perhaps switch them about a bit so people can come to a lunchtime or an evening. And now that we've worked out how to mute you all so you don't swear, we'll be able to share the slides a little bit more.
Hey, I just think you've got 175 people at the busiest time ever in the world of practice management. So people, when they want to do it, will find the time. And I think it's incredible to show the commitment of people still working at this time doing this. But you're right, you're never going to get it right. But the more we can offer, the more varied time, the better.
It is. We do feel very honoured that people are giving us this time. It's amazing. Okay, let's see where we're up to now. So thank you for that. Have we missed anything? I can see the chat is going mad, and I've seen that people are replying to each other. Yeah, what is lunchtime? I can see loads and loads and loads of stuff. Okay, so thank you. We're all fantastic. Well, go straight back at you. It really does.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be doing it without knowing that all of you are behind us. Okay. So I think that slide will stay open.
Do you know, and the four of us, we've been working so hard and everything, but you know, it's been the most enjoyable thing. We just feel that we are really making a difference now to our profession, and it's been our lifelong passion, and we don't mind investing all this time because we've got all of your amazing backup and comments, and it's inspiring. It's getting us through. So thank you to everybody that supported us.
It's interesting, someone said a GoFundMe, so then people could pay what they could afford. So maybe I know some organisations match fund stuff as well, so maybe we could ask some of the NHS England, BMA, whatever, if they'd match fund us. Right, fabulous. Now, still important, although people are saying, you know, we're glad to have each other, but it's still important you look after yourselves as well. So do remember that, looking after me too. So the things, there kind of are asks really of what you can do to help us. Tweet us, talk to your GPs, talk to the LMC, email us, message us on Facebook or Twitter. Let us know if you can think of anywhere for funding. Talk to your colleagues, get your deputies involved as well. You know, it's not about practice managers, it's about practice management. So, you know, finance managers, business managers, anybody who you think might benefit from this supportive environment. That figure of 65% of people are wanting to leave general practice kind of hit the four of us in our hearts, because we are passionate about general practice, and to think 65% of you may go is just devastating. So we really want to look after you, but there's a responsibility to look after yourselves as well. Okay, I think you've probably told us everything everything that you need to. So if there is anything else we can do, you know how to get us. And I'm just going to put one last slide up. And this is what the kind of, well, the 6-7 of us have been kind of promising ourselves and you. So we will always be people working in practice management. That is so important to us, that it's not going to be a group of people that are kind of here for the ride. This is about practice managers leading practice managers, and we will never be an organisation that's for profit. So we all know those other organisations that are profitable organisations that kind of we expect are representing us. In all honesty, they're representing themselves, they're not. So what we want to do, if there is any profit, if we do anything that raises income, that will always be for us as practice managers. And we will continue asking you for how we move forward. And our constitution will always be about the members, whatever that means. So please stick with us, help us where you can, contact us if you've got any ideas. We'll make sure after this session that we put a post on the IGPM Facebook page, and we'll also put something in Practice Index so that we can start those conversations in both those places. Okay, it's 10 to 6. You're all amazing. There's still 173 of you here. Joe, Nicola, Robin, Louise, James, anybody got anything to add?
Just one thing I've picked up on the chat, actually, Kay, just that we'll have a chat amongst ourselves, but just to let everybody know, Claire asked if we could send out a central statement telling GPs what we're doing, so that we're singing from the same hymn sheet and they can provide that to their GPs. I think that's a great idea, Claire, so we'll have a chat about that and see what we can come up with for you to just email over to your GPs, throw it in them, put it on their keyboard, sneak it in with their scripts, whatever you want to do. Is that all right?
Fabulous. Yeah, great idea. Did you say that was Claire?
That's Claire, yeah.
Yeah, fabulous.
Thank you, Claire.
Thanks. Well done, Claire.
And the promise is on the
else?
website. If people want to look at the website, the promise is on there, so people can use that and send a link to the to round if they want to.
Okay. Fabulous. Everybody looks happy that I can see. Everybody is amazing. So I guess we're just going to say thank you. Have a wonderful Christmas. Please switch your email off. Please have some time for yourselves and your family. And we will be in touch. We'll make sure you know where the slides are. Make sure you know where the recording is, so you can share that. And we'll be ever present, and we'll come back and talk to you in 2021.
Have a fabulous Christmas, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for coming on. Thank you.
Take care.
See you soon.